I want to thank everybody for chiming in. This is Watchman Yahudah Israel, also known as Pastor Derek Mann, on Early When I Seek Thee Scripture Study and Prayer Line on the 16th day in January 2018. Let's dive on into the Word, y'all. Let's go to Hebrews, the 4th chapter. Hebrews 4. Let's deal with the Sabbath. Look what it says. Hebrews 4:1. It says, "Let us therefore fear, lest a promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it." Okay, this is talking about rest. And we know the Sabbath is rest. And it's breaking it down from a revelation standpoint. From a revelation standpoint. This is the rest of Yah, right? Let us therefore fear, have reverence for Yah, least a promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them. Talking about them in the wilderness, talking about Israel. The ones that was ordained to keep the Sabbath. For unto them, or unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. For we which have believed do enter into rest. Y'all heard that? Because we don't have a lot of time, I'm just going to kind of just snatch it, right? For we which have believed do enter into his rest. We know so far that belief in the Mashiach is what causes you to enter into the rest. For we which have believed do enter his rest. As he has said, as I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished before the foundation of the world. Yah rested from the beginning of the foundation of the world. When he created, on the seventh day he rested. Yah is a spirit. He wasn't tired. He rested because that was his shadow of redemption, even before Adam sinned. What did he rest for? He wasn't tired. He could have just built it and that's that. He rested because it was his shadow. For we which believe do enter into his rest. As he said, as I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest. Who was he swore into his wrath? He was saying, this is King James Version. It's kind of weird in the way it right? But he swore in his wrath that the children of Israel would not enter into his rest. And the reason why he swore that is because they were sinning. And what he equates to non-belief is sin. A believer obey and a non-believer sin. For we which have believed do enter into his rest, as he has said, as I have sworn in my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world. For he spake in a certain place. Now here we go. He spake in a certain place. When that was said, he was talking about a certain place, a certain time period, a certain revelation, a certain state of being. But let's read it. For he spake in a certain place of the seventh day on this wise, and Yah did rest the seventh day from all of his works. And in this place again, if they shall enter into my rest. So whatever he's talking about it's futuristic when it comes to revelation of what he really means and what he's talking about. And in this place again, if they shall enter into my rest. Seeing therefore, now he's expecting you to get an understanding right here. Seeing therefore it remaineth that some must enter therein. He's talking about though they were keeping the physical Sabbath inside of the wilderness. Remember, he was raining down manna and they had to collect it 2 days so they can keep the Sabbath. 2 days worth rained the day before the Sabbath. For on the Sabbath, they wouldn't have to do no work. They can just eat the manna, which represented the word. The manna, remember Yahudah said, I am the bread that came down from heaven. Your fathers did eat bread and are dead. He said, I'm the true bread. That's in John, the 6th chapter, St. John, the 6th chapter, right? Seeing therefore remaineth that some must enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached entered not in. Why? Because of unbelief. Remember, we just read that we enter into this rest through belief. Well, they didn't enter in because of unbelief, and the unbelief was sin. Seeing therefore remaineth that some must enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached entered not in. Who it was preached to, and it was preached to them according to a carnal commandment. They were keeping a carnal, stop working on a specified day. But he was really, it was symbolic for another place. And again, this place again, if they shall enter into my rest. Seeing therefore remaineth that some must enter therein, and they to whom it was first preached entered not in because of unbelief. Again, he limiteth a certain day. See, he was talking about a certain day. It wasn't necessarily on the Sabbath day or Saturday or one day of a week. Again, he limits a certain day. What is that certain day, y'all? Again, he limits a certain day, saying in David, look what he said in David, today, after so long a time, as it is called today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your hearts. Well, let's see what he's talking about. Let's go to Psalms right quick. Psalms 95, right? Psalms. Just to keep it short, y'all can read the whole Psalms another time. Okay, I'll read it. Oh, come, let us sing unto Yahudah. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Talking about being saved, y'all. The rock of our salvation. He became the rock when he became a man to establish, the ecclesia, the set-aside people, right? The rock of our salvation. Let us come before his presence with thanksgiving and make a joyful noise unto him with psalms. For Yahudah is a great Elohim and a great king above all Elohims. And in his hand are the deep places of the earth. The strength of the hills is his also. The sea is his, and he made it. And his hands formed the dry land. Oh, come, let us worship, bow down. Let's kneel before Yahudah, our maker. For he is our Elohim, and we are the people of his pasture and the sheep of his hand. Today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your hearts, as in the provocation. The provocation is when the children of Israel was in the wilderness, and they sinned against him 10 times. It took him 10 plagues to curse Egypt, to set his children free. His children got in the wilderness, and 10 times they went against him, and he swore that they would not enter into his rest, even though they were Sabbath day keepers. They were physical Sabbath day keepers. But the physical Sabbath day was just a shadow of the real Sabbath. And it was renamed in another place. And it was renamed even right here in Psalms 95. Today, if you hear his voice, harden not your hearts, as in the provocation, as in the day of the temptation in the wilderness, when your fathers tempted me. That's the 10 times they tempted me, y'all. And when your fathers tempted me and proved me and saw my work, what was his work? He killed every last one of them, except for Joshua and Caleb. Moses didn't even make it in because he represented the law. Joshua, they call him, but his name was Yahudah, because he was a shadow of the Messiah. a shadow of the Word man, the Yah man. And he's the one that led him into the promised land. He had a sidekick, Caleb, but Yahushua, a.k.a. Joshua, was the leader. He's the one led him in because he represented the Mashiach. When your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my work. 40 years long was I grieved with this generation and said, it is a people that do err in their heart, and they have not known my ways, unto whom I swear my wrath that they should not enter into my rest. Talk about the true Sabbath rest, y'all. Back to Hebrews 4. Back to 7. Again, he limits a certain day. What is that certain day, y'all? Saying in David, today. Today. Folks think that Yah is carnal and that he has a specific 24-hour period. When we need to serve him every day. And again, he limits a certain day, saying in David, today, right now, y'all. Today. Today, after so long time, and he said, today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your heart. Don't harden your heart. Don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today. Because if your tomorrow comes, if you get to see tomorrow, it's going to be another today. He told you don't harden your heart. Don't assume. Don't take him for granted. Don't take kindness for weakness. Oh, next week I'm going to stop cussing. He told that king, thou fool, you just stored up all this stuff like you got it like that? Thou fool, you don't know if you're going to see tomorrow. Again, he limits a certain day. Talking about the rest, y'all. The true rest. Isn't the Sabbath supposed to be the rest? A day of rest? Again, he limits a certain day, saying in David, is recorded in Psalms 95, saying in David, today, after so long a time, as it is said, today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your hearts. For if Joshua, now some version, the King James says Jesus, because again, like I told you, even though they paganize Yahushua's name, they also, in the New Testament, use that term for Joshua, who we call Joshua, or who they call Joshua. His name is Yahushua, the same name as the Mashiach. And it's talking about him, not the Mashiach. It's talking about the shadow of the Mashiach, Moses' protege. For if so-called Joshua had given them rest, because he's the one that led them into the promised land. And the promised land, Canaan, was supposed to be another rest. There's all kind of shadows of rest. Leaving the wilderness and going into Canaan was resting from the gray area, the tempting, and learning how to walk in the Spirit. Like being a babe in the Messiah, being proven to love him. The Deuteronomy 28, and what did it say? And he suffered thee to hunger, and he fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not, neither thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah doth man live. I'm trying to remember exactly how it started. Okay, so I'm just going to go to it, y'all. We just got to be fast because we don't have enough time. There's supposed to be a sermonette this morning. But I just want y'all to get this. Deuteronomy 8, right? Just turn with me real quick. I'm going to be fast, y'all. We're teaching on the fly, as usual. This is what we do. All right, Deuteronomy 8. Look at this. I started 8 and 1. All the commandments which I command thee this day, and he's letting them know, right? All the commandments which I command thee this day shall you observe to do, that ye may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which Yah swore unto thy fathers. The land they're supposed to go into and possess is Canaan. And for us, it's a shadow. That's supposed to represent walking in the Ruach HaKodesh, right? But right now, he has them in the wilderness. Leaving Egypt would represent the world, your carnal state of living, your carnal state of mind. You're supposed to have left that. Now you're in the wilderness being proven that you really love him and that you're really walking away from your flesh. You're being proven. And when people get saved, they draw down them with their mouth. And then all of a sudden the tests come to prove. And then once you're proven, you get to walk in the Ruach HaKodesh. It's given on to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom. You really enter into his true rest and not a carnal rest, right? All the commandments which I command thee this day shall you observe to do, that you may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which Yahudah swore unto your fathers. And thou shalt remember all the way which Yahudah thy Elohim led thee these 40 years in the wilderness. Why did he do it? To humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no, whether you're going to do what he say or no. And he humbled thee, and he suffered thee to hunger, and he fed thee with manna. The gospel was being preached unto them, and they didn't even know it. The true word, the true rest was offered to them. They had a carnal rest, but in the wilderness, he was introducing them to the true rest, resting from being worldly, evil. And he humbled thee, and he suffered thee to hunger, and he fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man does not live by bread only, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yahudah doth man live. Back to Hebrews. Again, he limits a certain day, saying in David, today, so long a time, as it is written, today if you hear his voice, harden not your hearts. For if Joshua, they call him Joshua, y'all, had given them rest, then would he have not afterward have spoken of another day? There remaineth therefore rest to the people of Yah. Folks trying to be justified by the carnal commandment, thinking assembling on Saturn Day or Saturday, it was the abbreviation of Saturn Day, is what Yah was talking about. He's letting you know here, no, there remaineth therefore a rest of the people of Yah, because they was keeping Saturn Day. It wasn't called Saturn Day back then, no. It was called the Sabbath. But that was a shadow of the true Sabbath, because he renamed it in David and called it today. There remaineth therefore a rest to the people of Yah. For he that has entered into his rest, now he breaking it open for you. For he that entered into his rest, remember those that believe is the ones that enter into the rest? The believer do what he say. For he that has entered into his rest, he also has ceased from his own works, as Yah did from his. Y'all heard that? Entering into this rest is resting from your own works. And our own works was sin. Our own works was trying to be justified by carnal commandments. Talking about Israel. Trying to be justified by carnal commandments. Our righteousness as filthy rags. 10 commandments, we didn't keep it. And it didn't come to save us. It came to prove we needed to be saved. We didn't keep it because we couldn't, because our carnal nature. But we rest from our carnal nature. For the carnal mind is enmity against Yah, is not subject to the law of Yah, neither indeed can be. The flesh lusts against the spirit against the flesh. These are contrary to one to another, so you can't do what you want to do. You got to kick rocks on what you want to do, and you better learn to suffer and do what he told you to do. If any man come after me, let him deny himself. When you walking in self-denial, you resting in the word. You resting in the Ruach HaKodesh. You resting in the spirit of Yah. You become an obedient child of his. For he that has entered into his rest, he also hath ceased from his own works, as Yah did from his. That's why the Mashiach said in Matthew 11:28, come on to me, all ye that labor. We laboring, trying to keep the law and all that old fun stuff. We laboring with our own righteousness. We laboring trying to find happiness on the other side of the Most High. Ain't none. You can't find happiness. Your spouse don't make you happy. Yah makes you happy. You can have a spouse and be miserable as heck. Money don't make you happy. You think it do. That's temporary, baby. If you got true happiness, it came from Yah. If you got true peace, it comes from Yah. Come on to me, all you that labor. You laboring and are heavy laden. You trying to work out your own soul salvation. You doing it your way. You think assembling on Saturday day is gonna help you? I hear you. You better grab today. What? We ain't gonna assemble until Saturday day. There's something special. What's special about Saturday day? What's better about Saturday day than Sun God Worship Day? Is either one of them better than Moon God Day? Moon God Day? I mean, come on, y'all. This is the day that Yah has made. I rejoice and be glad in it. Come on to me, all you that labor, you labor and are heavy laden. You trying to work it out yourself? You can't do it. You better trust the Most High. You can't deal with these devils that hijack this planet. My wife was filming yesterday our little vegan food, and as soon as she put the camera on me, my name popped up in her phone. Face recognition software. You can't deal with these jokers. They got nanobots that they're bombing on the people in the chemtrails, little small robots, microscopic size, they're hecka tiny, and you breathe it in. And they're supposed to be in people doing some stuff that I don't even want to talk about right now. You need the Most High. Trade used to be with money because money was a receipt to real objects. The power of trade is I got something, you got something, let's trade. Help us one to another. Well, not only is the money in America, which is the main trading money on the planet, lost its value, and ain't nothing but monopoly money, but they finna go to invisible money. So that means it's backed by nothing but the gun, but the power of the devil. They gonna control everything. They gonna control if you eat or do anything. Folks working for money and all that. You got to sell your soul to rock with the devil. Heavy laden. The laden is heavy. It's heavier than you can handle. You don't want none of this. You don't want to see the devil. You don't want to see the devil without Yah. That's why the word says submit yourself unto Yah and resist the devil and he'll flee. You don't submit yourself to Yah, he ain't going nowhere. He'll turn a man into a pretty woman. He was buff with a beard, robust truck driver. Now he's a little small, cute librarian that's going to do yoga and eat yogurt after work. Come on to me, all ye that labor. You laboring with your own righteousness? You got your check, your money, you ain't gonna get none? Tax time coming, you finna boss ball. You gonna help the house of Yah? Come on to me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. You need some rest. Yahusha's the rest. And I'll give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Grab my yoke and learn of me. For I'm meek and lowly in heart. And if you do that, you shall find rest unto your souls. We need the true Sabbath rest. We don't need the shadow right now. We need the real thing because it's getting ugly. It's way uglier than you knew. Because if you knew everything, you'd probably start pulling your hair out. You'd probably be stressed the heck out. People don't like to talk about this stuff because they be in sin. They got a little thin paint job of religion. They want to keep a physical day. How about every day? Try that on. How about we've been bought with a price? We belong to him every day. And like as he's rested from his works, we need to get into that rest and live in it and abide in it. Resting from our works, resting from our smoking and drinking and cussing. And lusting and coveting and bearing false witness and going against the Most High. We need to rest from that. I ain't calling in today. I deserve a break and all that old stuff. I got to call in. Why are you better than me? But some people get to wear a ministry loosely. I'm just a good teacher that they get to chill and listen to every now and then. But they their own pastor. They their own watchman. You can't correct them. You offend them, they ain't going to call in no more. They're not resting. They're laboring because they're doing it their way. They'll search the internet and find another good teacher, and they're gone. The word in Hebrews teaches, obey them that had a rule over you. When you have a watchman, they couldn't. They tried to fire Moses. They tried to make a calf and say, this joke of Molech, they made a Molech calf. That's what they learned in Egypt. Babylonian Molech, and they wanted the calf to lead them back to Egypt. Because folks in their carnal nature not submissive. The word teaches if you don't come like a child, you can't enter in. But we got some spiritual adults, that say something they don't like. Start preaching on a certain sin they doing. Rub their sins the wrong way. They'll just skip rocks as if they have that liberty, because folks is blind. Folks get to chime in, hang out for a month or two, and then leave. 6 months later, they chime back in. Where you been? Oh, I found another little good teacher. I've been on his webpage. Oh, for real? Is that how it works? You need to rest. Wherefore seeing. You got to be able to see. You don't want to be ever learning but never able to come into the knowledge of the truth. Is what I just said true? Do you have to be a part of a ministry, or are you grown? You ordained yourself? Come on to me, all ye labor and are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. Rest your neck. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest unto your souls. Galatians 5, stand fast, therefore, in the liberty. There's a freedom wherewith the Mashiach has made us free. And be not entangled again in the yoke of bondage. What is the yoke of bondage? It's the law. Laboring, heavy laden, trying to work out your soul salvation through good works of the commandments. The commandments was put on stone not for you to keep them to be saved. The commandments were put on stone to prove you needed to be saved. And through your struggle trying to keep them, you're always going to do the best you can. But it ain't going to never be good enough. And there is no mercy in the law. They that broke Moses' law died without mercy before 2 or 3 witnesses. Ain't no mercy in the law. You break it, you die. The wage of sin is death. But mercy and what they call grace came through the Mashiach. You want to get away from that. The yoke of bondage. Stand therefore in the liberty wherewith the Mashiach has made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. Behold, Saul say unto you, that if you be circumcised, because that was the seal of a commandment keeper. For if you be circumcised, the Mashiach shall profit you nothing. If you ain't got the Mashiach, you're doomed. He's the way, the truth, and the life. No man come unto the Father but by him. For I testify again to every man that is circumcised. You found out you Israel? Now you want to keep the Saturn day? I hear you. For I testify again to every man that is circumcised that he is a debtor to do the whole law. It's cool if you want to do Sabbath. Grow the beard, get your ephah, your shingle, get all the feast days and festivals. Get back to Jerusalem once a year, or you got problems. The Mashiach has become of no effect unto you. Whosoever of you are justified by the law, you have fallen from what they call grace. And we're saved by grace. For by grace are you saved. Ephesians 5 and 8. For we through the Spirit wait for the hope of righteousness by faith. For in Yahushua HaMashiach neither circumcision avail anything, nor uncircumcision, but faith, which worketh by love. Come on, y'all. This is just a quick one because we got to get out of here. But the Sabbath was renamed today in David. And the command is, today you hear his voice, harden not your heart. And he was for to let you know, you want to enter his rest? Then cease from your own works as Yah ceases from his. Spirit of living God, we love you and thank you for this opportunity to glean in your word. We pray that your word will forth with clarity. Sermonette on the Sabbath. Rest from your works and do what Yah called you to do. We're running out of time, y'all. It's finna get real ugly, and you want to be in the ark of safety when it do. Can you see the signs of the time? Heavenly Father, we need you desperately. Give revelation to this here, your people, that we keep the true Sabbath, not a physical 24-hour period, but today we hear your voice. We'll harden our hearts. We love you. We need you. We believe you. We trust you, and we celebrate the victory in today. In the matchless name of Yahushua HaMashiach, and we pray, hallelujah, hallelujah, and amen.